Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It's his birthday.
Let's go! Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. No one. And of course, you're gonna get the Coffin skin. Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Happy Saturday night to one and all here, and welcome to the AEW Collision Sidecast here on the Mike the Ref Twitch channel. Replayed as well on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel. Always a pleasure seeing y'all here, and this is going to be a fun episode here tonight because, well, we know what we're supposed to get. We have been advertised matches. We're getting the return of Cope tonight in singles action. We're getting Dax versus Jericho. We're getting Mariah versus Harley in Hot Girl Graps. But unfortunately, due to between the fires in California and the winter ice storms that are going on right now throughout North America, many flights weren't able to make it. And there's certain people that weren't able to make the show tonight. So there are a couple matches that have been announced tonight that are going to be really fun for us. We got Wheeler and Claudio versus the Outrunners. And we also got Pac versus Kommander. Or Kommander, as most people call him. The ROH TV champion getting a shot at Pac after Kommander cost Claudio his spot in the Continental Club playoffs at World's End. So Pac's going to look to extract a little measure of revenge, while the other 2/3 of the Trios champions going to take on the Outrunners, who got laid out by the Death Riders, as well as with Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, last week when they were visiting North Kakalaki.
The following program
so,
with violence and or coarse language. Viewer discretion.
Yeah, it's we know we're supposed to get. We see things that were advertised a little bit earlier this afternoon, but we are a little bit all over the place. But Harley is here, and that's what.
Harley Cameron. Tonight we do Hot Girl Graps. Well, at least one of us. I am the woman's champion. I am the woman from hell, and you will not sing again, because I will rip out your vocal cords and throw them into the third row.
The learning tree always says, brevity is the soul of wit. Cope, you shortened your name. Well, tonight, I'm going to shorten your career.
Nice! Nice promo by Bill.
And tonight, I'm going to show that Harwood is no good. Sick burn, LT. It is going to be a clean-ass sweep.
Clean ass sweep.
The learning tree, Chris Jericho, tonight. Dax the Axe chops you down. You know, over the years, I've been called Paul Bunyan. I've been called a lumberjack. Tonight, that's probably apropos, because I'm going to chop me down redwood right now. See, boys.
Ooh, we're starting with Cope right off the bat.
Out.
Into the Elton John. Gotta love it. I love this start. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Whether you're catching things live, whether you're catching them on VOD, whether you're catching them up on the old YouTubes after this goes up. Honestly, this is a ton of fun tonight. I really do hope that all these matches that are supposed to happen show up. Hey, Nats fan. Gotta love the dancing. Gotta love the yeah. But yeah, in all seriousness, though, wish nothing but the best for everybody that's involved with the storms and the fires right now throughout the U.S. Cope out here high-fiving and everything. God, I love it. How you doing tonight, Nats fan? Hope you're doing well. In a broken dream, better leave it all behind. I'm really fired up tonight. It's going to be a good night for wrestling. I'd be booing the fact he's from Toronto, but that's just me, you know. So Shivani and Jericho for this one?
And of course, Big Bill the Redwood, who's going to be doing some decimation of his opponent here tonight.
I'm guessing Nigel couldn't make it.
He said, yeah. I'm looking at you, Cole.
Got 6 inches of snow yesterday.
Chris Jericho.
Yeah, we've gotten a little bit of flakes, but, you know. You know, I have yet to hear Big Bill's music. No, we just got a few flurries here. That's about it. It's all right, Nats. I give one freebie a night now. Once we get to 2 or 3, I just delete comments. I don't need to. Unless somebody's really going bad at it, I'll definitely find a way to hit some clicks if I need to, but I really don't need to. It's so funny as we're getting ready for this match. That's the only one I can read. There you go. Like I said, that's why I say I usually, you know, I'll play off certain things if I have to, but I really don't think I need to deal with anything specific. People feel it out. Right now, it's just you and me, basically. There's a few of us here, but people will be watching on VOD and whatnot, and I'm just here to watch some good wrestling, more often than anything. And I will say, I do enjoy watching this 2 hours. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch SmackDown yesterday. By the way, I was lurking in Nick's stream for the first hour of the SmackDown. Frankly, I had to turn it off after the hour with the way the commercials run. I was 1998 Monday Night Raw today. Well, Snow and Mike. Like, there were so many DQs back then. Yeah. Oh, I remember totally. Like, every match was a DQ, and no match went over more than about 3 minutes. Oh, Nigel's there. Cool. That's a nice little cut off there. No, like, a lot of people watched the Attitude Era but didn't really see what the Raws actually had as part of it. He's on his side. Is he just an inflatable cope, maybe? People say Attitude Era was all the rave. Personally, I think Ruthless Aggression was better. It's a different taste for both sides, right? Because I'll say this. If you're looking at the top end level of talent, I would almost say you have to go with Attitude Era for the top level. But if you're looking through 1 through 20, like on a roster, I think Ruthless Aggression definitely has a great case for it. If you're out watching the pay-per-views, you're usually doing okay when it comes to Attitude Era. If you're watching Raw every week, yeah, Raw's and well, I guess she didn't get SmackDown until 2001. There's more variety in Ruthless. Exactly. Like I said, if you go 1 through 20 in terms of roster, you're probably going to get more excitement out of the Ruthless Aggression era, without a doubt. Neither one was booked perfect. No promotions booked perfectly. I think anybody that says one promotion's booked perfectly is an idiot. Uh-oh. The hell is that dance there from Bill? Like, I know personally, was a big SmackDown fan from 2005 to 13. Hey, a lot of it dealing with like the that was post SmackDown 6, but there was a lot of good stuff during that time. Granted, it had to deal with a lot of crap like WWE CW. And the horrible booking that they did for the women's division many times. But like, I sit around and I watch people come in here and say that, you know, there's no stories in AEW, and this one here, in many ways, has a story as well. I love how the picture-in-picture, they shut off the video and not the audio instead of the audio, not the video. Yes. Glad to see the Oilers decided to wake up and start playing the hockey game tonight. But, no, by the way, how about those, yeah, we don't have stories at AEW. All I say is you don't watch the product. Yeah, like, ooh, Garcia Shibata tonight? Let's go. This is what I was talking about off the top of the show, where we really didn't know what was coming, so Tony Khan just says, here you go, have this one. TNT Championship match? That'll be a lot of fun. Then, of course, Mariah May, Harley Cameron. I'll just throw that out there. No, and even right now, I am sort of glad that all the other they're getting through this Chris Jericho feud right now, because they got basically, what is it, 2 months till we have to get to Revolution, where I feel it's going to be Cope and Mox for the title. I still believe that I do believe that Mox is going to lose the title to Copeland at Revolution, and Christian's going to cash in on Cope. So, always thought the Collision Weekly is better than Dynamite. It's all about what your tastes are too, right? Like, if you're into like the pure wrestling, it's sort of the same way that Raw and SmackDown were in that time that you were watching. That was your favorite time to watch product. Because if you were watching Raw from like 2005 all the way up to like, hell, you could almost say 2018. Raw was always more the long, drawn-out, story-based show where a lot of the stories don't make a lot of sense and a lot of stupidity goes on, so. As we get back for the picture-in-picture now. Paul Heyman SmackDown was the best. He's had his good points. He's also had his bad points too. Like, I'll be a fan. I'll be frank. A lot of the wrestling in 2010s, I wasn't really exactly a big fan of. I will still say my favorite moment of the 2010s. It's back when Cena and Punk had their feud over the title. Post Punk leaving, coming back. There was a pay-per-view where CM Punk was the champion. Cena was going after it. We used to get the pay-per-views in a theater here locally here in Edmonton. That's how we'd watch WWE before the network showed up. And I would be sitting there talking about how I'd be the original John Cena sucks guy, which I'm sure everybody would love to be these days. But all these little kids are like, no, John Cena's gonna win. John Cena's the best. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut up, kids. But at the end, Cena ends up winning, and then the decision gets reversed. So when Cena wins, everybody's going crazy there. They're all laughing at me. I'm like, kudos, good to you. Then the decision gets reversed. And of course, I am not a good winner sometimes, especially during that time. These kids might have been maybe 8 years old. I'm just saying, ha ha. Next thing you know, I'm getting popcorn thrown at me and I'm getting tossed out of the theater. So. Are they actually going to try to do Snake Eyes into that? It's almost like you can't touch it at all or else it's like poison. Oh God, here we go. Jericho with the rhymes. We got no time for Jericho's rhymes because they are not sublime. He's just been it's just a crime. Yeah, I know I'm horrible. Where is it here? I don't know if I've seen Cope throw a powerbomb like that before. So Cope said when he came to AEW, he wanted to do one new move every match. Would that be the move that he did? Like the last ride powerbomb? Lord knows Omos has been using it lately, if you haven't heard. Omos won the GHC Pro Wrestling Noah Tag Team Championship just last week. And there's the big boot. Only two? Good for him over in Japan, yeah. And they did a real good job at booking him there. And honestly, if you go check out our... we're going to have a review up hopefully next week about that up on our wrestling YouTube channel. They just did a real good job of masking what he needed to be. There's the execution. Yeah, I know. He hits that spear, you're done. Hashtag protected moves no more. It's not the Blade Runner, let's put it that way. Oh my God, that look is priceless. That look is priceless. Oh. So Undertaker Bill only kicked out of the spear, yeah. He's got a bulldog choke that looks absolutely horrible. Watching Mike Bailey stream, he claims he's gave up gaming to stream, gave up wrestling to stream games. Yeah, they're probably just finding a good time to get him in, right? He also could be needing a bit of a break right now, so... Are we just going to get Jericho and Bill right now? Might as well do that right now while he's in here. Never fear, McG is here. Oh, here come the Retro Wrestlers. You can tell by the long hair or the goofy haircut, one or the other. Good to see everybody just piling in here. No, Mike Bailey, like, by the way, Arcade, good to see you here as well. Bailey probably just, is biding his time right now if he doesn't have a deal with anybody. Watch this, he'll get signed to AEW and he'll claim that he's been around ever since the Casino Gauntlet, but he was supposed to be the next guy in after Jarrett. What the hell is Jericho doing? It's not true. I what? This has been a great 20-minute match to start the night off. No, I'm just happy to see you all here tonight. Everybody filing in real quick. So, officially now we've had 2 people kick out of the spear. We're going to have, it's The Undertaker and it's Big Bill. The only 2 people that have done that. I like that they made Big Bill still extra. Absolutely. Absolutely did a great job of making Bill look great here. And he's always been doing that, right? I hope Ian's replacing Tony on Wednesday. No, he isn't. Ian has prioritized his family and wanting to be at home, so he'll do Ring of Honor because there's a possibility they could do it in post, right? So yeah, if it wasn't for that, I'd be all over having Riccaboni and Excalibur working together there. I love these promos. Now that they're actually doing them.
You'd be lucky if you could return to a normal way of life. Let alone return to the Kenny Omega that you used to be. Kenny Omega, stunning the world. I had to really ask myself this.
So have you guys got a chance to check out Wrestle Dynasty and watch that match between Omega and Kid?
This new version of Kenny Omega
I've gotten the first half of the match. I haven't been able to get through all of it.
that isn't concerned about revenge. This version of Kenny Omega can still prove that he
Here we go again with fantastic refresh your audience promos. Watch some of the match. Yeah, I've gotten about halfway through because I did get a chance to watch some of it live after we were done taping last week. Which, by the way, we get more New Japan action going on actually later tonight. I believe it starts at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. The Battle in the Valley out in San Jose. I hope everybody was able to make it to that show because apparently a lot of people couldn't make it to Athens, Georgia here, so it looks like most of them are live. Will I stream it? No. We're going to be doing our WWE 2K24 GM run. We're going to run everything as normal. I don't know if I'd be able to stay up that late watching that. I can watch it in my spare time if I want. And also, I have two very, very special people that cover Japanese wrestling for us over here in Backbreaker. Andre C., the OG of Backbreaker, been here since the beginning with me. And one of our newest members, Melball Collins. They do all our Japanese coverage, and they do an absolutely fantastic job of it. So Bailey was telling us Veda would curse us if we didn't watch, but I don't believe in curses. Watch Battle in the Valley? Or... Because you know what could happen? There could be a possibility that Bailey shows up at Battle of the Valley. But he was streaming earlier today, so I don't know. Yeah, well, Veda's on the call on that show, so definitely is an extra bonus there. And I guess since we're talking about commentary and that, I do have to talk about the elephant in the room here. It's the big business right now. Chris Charlton, the color guy for New Japan, has been suspended for 2 months for comments made during the Wrestle Dynasty show in regards to cutting up all of AEW. A lot of people think it's because that he called Tony Khan a money mark, but I don't think that's it. I think it's the more fact that he was going after Okada, he was going after Jay White. He was basically going after everybody that had left. Ospreay. He said Ospreay didn't have a career after he left New Japan. He had nothing. You want to talk about those guys that we were talking about earlier that didn't watch the product? Better yet, I will throw this one out here.
You idiot!
That's basically anybody that says that Will Ospreay hasn't had a great introduction into AEW. Because is there anything better that I think they could come up with?
Sir, no, sir!
No, I highly doubt it. I extremely doubt it. Ooh, Hangman.
So hard in my wrestling career to protect my family from the kind of prying eyes, the kinds of intrusions that even a small amount of fame can bring. And in one night, all of that work was undone. And it nearly tore my family apart.
The night that Swerve showed up.
Didn't tear my family apart, it broke me. Because for a long time I was ashamed. I was ashamed to come here every week. I was ashamed to stand in front of the world, and I was ashamed to look my wife and my son in the eyes.
Wow.
That I had allowed to happen to them. And I knew that after a while that I had to make a decision. I could either remain the husk of a man that I was, or I could do something about it. So I found Swerve Strickland, and I made sure that he did not hold the AEW World Championship.
Okay. All right, Hangman, where are you going?
The ties to the last hope that he had, that he could build a family and a home like I had had. And in September, I all but spilled his brains in front of the world.
Yeah, it's true.
Christopher Daniels, I know, and I understand what you were trying to say to me. And I humored you.
Wow.
So, I humored you for a while, but I listened for too long. And last Saturday, you crossed a line when you laid hands on me. And for that, you will pay the price.
Excellent.
Saturday, on Collision in Cincinnati, Maximum Carnage. Christopher Daniels, I will see you in a Texas death match.
What?
And I need you to understand this going into Cincinnati. I have decided who I will be. And I will wake up every morning and I will make that same decision over and over again because I would rather injure and maim. I would rather tear every life on this earth apart than be the man that I was last year. CD, you have made your bed. And next Saturday, I lay you down in it.
Wow. Hangman versus Christopher Daniels next week in a Texas death match. That will be awesome. And in reference to the we got Pac and Kommander right now.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Newcastle upon Tyne, England, weighing 217 pounds, he is 1/3 of the AEW Raw Trios Champion, the Bastard.
Everybody's cheering him on. Insert the famous Billy Madison quote. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were even close to saying anything considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. I swear that's what half the people say when they come and see ours. Was watching Pac versus Sami Zayn today, and Pac didn't age at all. Yeah. Pac is one of the most dynamic wrestlers that you could have, period. And for all those that are worried, he asked for time off and Tony gave it to him. That's why he hasn't been around the last couple weeks.
And his opponent, accompanied to the ring by the hype man, Alex Abernethy, from Red Hood, Mexico, weighing 70 kilos, he is the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Kommander.
This could be a bloodbath or this could be an amazing match. I don't think there's going to be much in between. I love the fact they're not actually showing the pinfall, though. Pac's got to be extra annoyed the fact that, Kommander gets to walk down with his championship and Pac doesn't. No, this could be very fast. This could be very sudden here right now. This is going to be fun. I feel like in 2025, AEW's been holding themselves accountable to more. It comes down a lot to the video that I did on Wednesday prior to we starting up here for Dynamite, which, by the way, that portion of the show is going to be released tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you guys missed it, my segment called Netflix and Max and Chill is going to be released up on our YouTube channel here, coming up on tomorrow morning. So I appreciate the notifications being on. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, I basically talk about how fans need to be a little bit more patient right now, especially this time of year with the new subscription services, Max and Netflix and the influx of people that are just starting to learn what AEW is all about. And here's the difference. Yeah, Cope, right off the bat, right at the beginning of the show, and this is where smart booking comes in. You got Cope, you got Jericho, and you got Big Bill, which also, if you remember, is Big Cass for a lot of people that watch the other half. That's the thing that brand new people see when they walk in. They see those guys. So now they decide, okay, well, we'll stick around. Now you get to see this. As you're watching, yeah. Oh, yeah, the experience of Pac and WWE as well. But I'm just saying, the action that you're watching, you're like, Kommander is so unpredictable. Like, he's not only just fun, he's unpredictable, which is absolutely an amazing part of this.
Right now, Pac slowing down a little bit on that one. To the turnbuckle pads. Alex Abraham is the hype man for Kommander. Putting his man on.
Is 4.7 for the debut episode of Netflix low in your opinion? I'll justify that based on next week. The number that they produce for us, the numbers are going to be so all over the place when it comes to when it comes to dealing with something that we've never dealt with before. Like, realistically, they said it's had more viewers than Squid Game. Okay. It's like a couple of our... And yeah, McGee, you're right there. WrestleNomics said there's no true Netflix numbers because they aren't releasing it. They'll release them every 6 months. Like, the only number we're actually going to see going forward... Well, SmackDown will have the U.S. numbers and also... There's also the CW numbers for NXT. Of course, in Canada, that's irrelevant, and internationally. So those are going to take a big hit regardless because now everything internationally is mostly on Netflix. Which, once again, like I said, I'm not going to be able to watch SmackDown live anymore. When you have that cheesy break for the commercials... It shows you how much that... It shows you how many commercials they really have in 3 hours. But if you watch it on demand, they literally will cut those sections out for you. So a 3-hour show could turn out to be... What you got? 16 minutes an hour. It goes down to a 2:15 show. 2 hours, 15 minutes, all the way from 3 hours. Add your promo segments. Well, Abrahantes is dead. Three hours for SmackDown was too... Yeah, like... Essentially, Triple H has come out and said that in June there's a possibility they could be going back down to 2 hours. And the reason for it actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Not every contract ends at the same amount of time. Like, the Canadian deal ended January 31st, so that was a clean change. But some of these other countries are still getting Raw on their own TV or SmackDown. Some countries, the deal is just straight. Jesus. Kommander's just... He's got somebody he can work with, and he's just unloading right now. Can I just say I love Pac selling? Sorry, as we're jumping back and forth here. Some countries are guaranteed 3 hours of WWE programming, And if the 3 hours of Netflix or Raw is on Netflix now in that country, they got to give them 3 hours of SmackDown then, just until the contracts run out. And then basically everything internationally is going to be moved over to Netflix. Well, here's the thing, and yeah, we're skipping over to that, getting ready for Monday here with Chad Gable taking on. Essentially, we think it's Penta. I still love the call that some people are saying, why not make it R-Truth in a lucha mask, and then have Penta come out and destroy R-Truth. Oh my God, Kommander learned from Orange Cassidy. That's an Orange Cassidy move I ever seen it. Pac trying to sell that super kick like no other. That was awesome. That was not a Poison Rana. That was the Destroyer out of nowhere. Like, holy crap, this crowd's into it. We'll get back to Penta in a minute. Oh, there it is. Brutalizer, and we're done. He's like, CCC. Unfortunately, referee don't understand Spanish. God, that was awesome. Worried Penta's moveset will be restricted. Once again, Netflix and chill. Let's watch everything. Let's see what happens. Let's try and run it through, see how it goes, and then we'll see how that goes. So with Darby focusing on Everest, who's going to take... I've said the same thing the whole time here. As we're getting Claudio and Yuta to come out to take on the Outrunners. I want Hobbs to have a good match. I don't think Mox is not losing the title at home. Always remember, Cincinnati's home for... Cincinnati is the hometown of Jon Moxley. This is not WWE. You do not lose at home. My opinion and my booking's always been the same. You get Copeland the Revolution, defeating Mox for the title. Christian instantly cashes in. Well, screw it. Let's go. Hot diggity dog. No intros. Let's run. Stephon Smith says, screw it. Let's go. Pac's bailing out. Kommander might get out of there tonight. This reminds me of Attitude. We'll get back to this here. But this reminds me a lot of Attitude Era Wrestling. And another thing this reminds me of, ECW pay-per-views. If you ever get a chance to watch some of the ECW pay-per-views, if they ever show up on Netflix, quite often you would have an end of a match flow into the start of the next one. Like there was no real full entrances and all that stuff. You would literally get match, skirmish, then a break. But yeah, let's get back to my booking theory, and I've mentioned it before. Mentioned it a lot. Cope wins over Mox. Christian cashes in on Cope. So at the end of Revolution, you have Christian Cage as your champion, which will lead to a Full Metal Mayhem match at Double or Nothing in May.
Training in the frigid conditions in Vern Gagne's farm
And when Christian wins that,
back in Minnesota. Do what? Yes. Look
that will lead to the return of the heroic Darby Allin after successfully climbing Everest,
Castagnoli using the distraction.
to where Darby can win the title in Texas.
Quite apropos after what we saw of how he lost.
Because if everybody's thinking that the Death Riders theme has been going on a little too long, if you want to get it off somebody, Cope's the best one to get it off of, and throw it into that red hot rivalry between Christian and Cope, right?
Formative years of their AEW career have been Claudio and Wheeler Yuta.
Because I'm assuming Christian's got to use that opportunity before we get to All In, because that's where he got it from.
Right as can be. Castagnoli, the linchpin of the Death Riders and the former Blackpool Combat Club. Stoic look on his face like his native Switzerland, but all of those beautiful European uppercuts. Everyone on the mark.
I love the fact that the crowd definitely remember who Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd are. Because I know it took me a little while to get the two straightened out, but now everybody's got it, right? Ravens up only 7 at the end of the first. As a Buffalo Bills fan, I am cheering hard for the Steelers at this point. It's like, while I do have to respect the Denver Broncos, I do think that the Bills will win that. And if we could get Houston into Buffalo for that second round match, it's Derrick Henry and no one else. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's why you don't use them every down, right? By the way, I will be working on getting my ticker back up here for you guys. Hopefully here in the next few days. I'll have for those that have been here before, in the OG days, we used to have a sports ticker on the bottom. Right where all the recent sub, recent follower and all that is. We used to have a ticker right above it. So I hope to get that lined up so we can get that back in there again. As we're getting back into the real busy season for sports. Because football playoffs are on right now. We're getting hot and heavy into the NHL and NBA seasons. And we're just 2 months away from baseball. Which, by the way, I am dying. I'm dying to find out what they're going to be doing for MLB The Show 25. Because that is my most played game last year. It was off a little bit online, but mostly offline this past year. I don't know. I might try to work a little bit more into it online later. MLB was a good product this year. Yeah, like it had its limitations because it still had to work on previous generation hardware. But I do feel that we got a pretty good product out of MLB The Show this year. I can't wait, though. I cannot wait. January 28th, the day after Roman shows up to reveal the cover on Raw on Netflix. The 28th, they're going to start having details about the product release for WWE 2K25, which we will have to dissect and divulge here on the channel just to see what we're going to be getting ourselves into, and most importantly, a release date so we can figure out what we're going to be doing with our 24 GM run. For those that pop in here, we do run 2 weeks of my GM after every Dynamite and Collision, or one PLE, whichever one we run into here. But if they're going to come up within if it's going to be a March, we're probably just going to do season 4 and call it a day. Just because we're not going to have time to finish season 5 before 25 comes out. A Roman showcase? No, my prediction is the NOI family showcase. Like, they're going to go all the way back to... They're going to go through the entire dynasty, Samoan dynasty from top to back. That, to me, is where they're going to go. Because there's so many different ways to go with that, right? They have a segment with Rocky Johnson. You can bring in some Rikishi moments. You bring in some Yokozuna moments. The Wild Samoans can be in there. You got Umaga Lashley in 23. That actually wouldn't surprise me, except I will guarantee you one thing, Nats fan. There is a certain gentleman that used to run WWE that will be completely scrubbed from this game. And when I mean completely, I mean not even in a mention. I'll just give you that one. Didn't he buy the company for one day? I think he offered to buy WWE for one day. But yeah, if they're going to do Umaga Lashley, they're going to have to come up with a creative way to describe that story. Because that would have been... in a hair versus hair match, they can say. Because technically that's what it was. There's a nuclear tag over to Turbo. Give me No Way Out, Umaga, Jeff Hardy. Here's one thing for you. I do believe Jeff Hardy signs with WWE eventually. He gets one more chance. And he retires with his dream match against CM Punk. That falls count anywhere. Yeah, like, there's so many different guys that you can go with. And yeah, you can bring in the Wild Samoans as part of it. Jeff off the production truck here. That's where the essence of the backstage brawl could be, right? Two and 9/10. Wow. Floyd showed he could wrestle here, not just, not just do the 80s hype. Usos deserve to be involved. Exactly. Like, could you imagine how much they can get out of a Samoan dynasty set up there? Like, you're going to have everybody, all the current guys involved in some. What you'll probably end up, and this is probably where they were talking about the game-breaking design that they can do now. They're probably going to end up doing war games. He's not legal. I like that, Stephon Smith pointing out who the right guy in the ring is. No, in terms of a storyline, I don't know if we're gonna do the Roman Reigns thing, because let's put it bluntly. What do you want to do for the 2015 Royal Rumble? Do you want to do the fact that they force-fed that they force-fed The Rock to, or the force-fed Roman to win that Royal Rumble.
Holy smokes, what power! Gut wrench, superplex, rocket launcher. There it is. 1, 2, 3.
Gotta give it to Yuta and Claudio. Like, they are a hell of a team together. Even if Claudio's like the over angry dad.
You can't outrun the Death Riders. Well, fans, coming up next, we're going to have a women's matchup.
Ooh, top of the hour. Hey,
Coming up on Wednesday.
people channel surfing right now. When they turn in like 5 minutes.
This is the dangerous path of vengeance.
Look, earlier today, your dad was unfortunately attacked.
Call me for the news.
So they're promoting the Christian Cage hook match. Yuta reminds me of a less experienced Sami. You know what? He's going to get there. Yuta's going to get there. If you watch some of this stuff on IWTV and like on the indies prior to signing up for AEW, he is absolutely one of the. He's got all the skills to pay the bills. Hey, Snowpeg, we're good to see you here tonight.
I've taken bullet after bullet for this company. I will destroy the AEW World Championship before I let anyone else get their fingers on it ever again.
Don't you love that, Darby didn't have his ankles even close to being involved in that beatdown this time? That's why Danielson is helping him so much behind the scenes. Yeah, like, there's so much there.
Nothing good down this road.
Like, Yuta will be an eventual world heavyweight champion in AEW.
Come back, a path of redemption. If I'm not in
The Machine versus the Best Bout Machine.
giving you everything that I have, then I'm just not
So, for those that don't know, this Wednesday, AEW Maximum Carnage is meant to. Apparently, Max and WB and all those guys want this show to be a very important show for AEW because of the there's apparently some advertising bonuses out of this. Like this whole week is supposed to be like a sweeps week kind of thing for them, so that's why you're getting the extra promo packages on these matches. That's why it's a themed show the way that it is. And that's why we're getting matches like I was almost going to say that's why we're getting the matches we are, but hell, let's face it. AEW is producing these matches regardless right now. Like Brian Cage, Kenny Omega, yes please. Hook Christian Cage, that's just going to wrap that rivalry up in a nice little bow. And hopefully end it here once and for all. Who do you guys think wins the women's gauntlet match next week? I think the betting favorite would probably be Tony Storm, but if Christian will teach Hook so much in that match, he's been teaching him a lot already. Not all of it good. Let me call it here right now. I'm going to call my shot just because I think that promo by Tony Storm did a lot to change my mind here. I think we are going to end up with one of our main events for AEW Grand Slam Australia. Mariah May versus Indy Hartwell. Or Indie Wrestling, whichever way you want to call it. I think that's who we get. The hometown girl gets a chance to win her title in a home country in one of her debut matches on AEW. You're gonna go with Athena? I wouldn't feel bad about that either. Athena's having the time of her life right now over in Japan. She's worked a couple more Stardom shows since the completion of Wrestle Dynasty. And apparently she's just loving her time out there. So I don't know when she gets back. It might be as soon as this week. We don't know. But yeah, yes, and that's the best part about it. She's a great person on top of just being a great wrestler. And those are the ones that you're more than happy to support, are the ones that can be a good person and a good wrestler and just have everything line up so perfectly for them. So just, yeah. And I'm almost wondering if they're going to have Athena move up to the main roster for All in Texas, since she was part of that promo at the ticket giveaway or the ticket opening session there. So was watching Swerve versus Athena today. I'm just going to throw this right there for that. Just that match right there. We'll just throw it out and just call it that.
You wanted people to stand up. You wanted AEW to be a place where people took initiative. Well, guess what, Mox? I took initiative. I won the casino gauntlet. I beat 7 other people, Mox. I stood up to you Wednesday on Dynamite, and what did you do? You backed away. You cowered out. You tucked your tail between your
I love this promo.
What type of world champion is that? This Wednesday night, Dax Harwood, y'all know where we're at. Cincinnati, Ohio, the birthplace of John Moxley. Well, guess what, Mox? I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been homeless. Hell, there's been times I've been left for dead. But guess what, Mox? There's nothing you can actually do to me. So this Wednesday, Cincinnati, Ohio, Mox, I'm gonna make you my bitch.
Renee really didn't like him calling him that last Wednesday there after the match, did he?
I would bet against it because John Moxley is nobody's bitch.
Yeah, well, I would agree to that. And fans, speaking of world title coming up on Wednesday, the women's casino gauntlet match. The winner of that match will go on to get a shot at
I want to know what time Grand Slam Australia is going to be.
the title coming up when we go to Australia in the month of February.
Because I've booked a weekend off for that. So I would really like to see if we could, get that arranged soon. The only reason I don't like Hobbs Once Upon a Time was an enhancement during the pandemic. Yeah. Most Improved Wrestler 2024 AEW. Right here. Put a stamp on it. Nobody should really argue that point. I love Harley's character. It's an absolute nutcase. Like, let's face it. And if here's another spoiler for you. And I do have to get this video done. I just keep having it in my head. I just don't get it out verbally here. Harley Cameron has a DC equivalent to Harley Quinn. It's scary how much alike they are. They're smart. They're nuts. When she needs to get serious, she can, but when she gets downright goofy, she gets absolutely nuts. You know what's funny? Nigel's spouting off all these comparisons from IMA. How many people actually know who the hell he's talking about for a lot of these people? Judy Grable, Jane Mansfield. But yeah, I forgot to put that in there. That's...
I don't remember saying that, but thank you very much.
Don't remember the 1980s. Nice.
The bell sounds. Here we go. Mariah.
Not gonna take your jacket off, Harley?
Taking her sweet time. Harley Cameron wants us to get started quickly. She said she was going to make Mariah May feel the wrath. Mariah May said anything.
I love the promo these two had with each other, and if you didn't know, these two are like besties in real life. Oh my God.
Couldn't get a count out of that. 1, 2, and a 2 count. How about Harley Cameron coming out?
Well,
Coming out to fight like
if Harley wouldn't have started to
Celebrating a couple of near falls on the champion, but that might be all she's celebrating here. May, momentary distraction.
What would a win for Harley Cameron do in this non-title match?
could you imagine Harley winning this? It's almost funny the fact that it is non-title. There is a possibility that she could win it. Is Harley faced by Harley's been one of those that wherever she needs to be, she'll be.
Maximum carnage.
Whether it be face, whether it be heel, like, and it almost. I think the best thing about Harley is the fact that you really can't place her.
In the gauntlet, because sometimes the gauntlet
In many ways, she reminds me of Swerve Strickland, ironically enough. And I say ironically enough because, well, Swerve's character is based on the Joker,
To that point, Chris Statlander.
which makes my comment about Harley Quinn just that much more apropos here at this point. Like, really, Swerve can be a face or a heel, depending whichever way you're looking at the situation, right?
Close to a quick two.
you've got to be impressed. I know you are a Mariah May apologist, but you got to be impressed with Harley's come out with here.
First of all, I've never made any apology when it comes to Mariah May.
For crying out loud.
Genius and
Oh, went for that running knee.
is without apology, but certainly yes, I've been impressed with the way that Harley Cameron has improved in every outing.
Wow.
Enziguri, nicely done. 1, 2, and the world champion again.
No, seriously, I'm breaking this down here. Where is this coming from?
The AEW Women's Division with 30.
Yeah, yes, like Harley has improved, but my God.
Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament as well.
I would dare say 2024 was the year of Mariah May. By the looks of things,
Oh God, that sucked.
carrying on in that vein.
All right, fans, cover 1, 2. Fans, this match continues. Stay with us on Max and TNT.
All right. They're getting a second segment, so this is going well. But yeah, no, that like Harley's actually showing up here tonight. Like, she's showing us a few moves that she hasn't showed us before. Bully Ray likes her. That might have to do with something.
No, please, no.
Well, why do we have to punish her like that? Why? Now, in all seriousness, there's so many different reasons to like what's going on with Harley and how her improvement's going the way it is. And the fact that, who would have thought that these two would have been the upper part of the women's division when 2023 started? Mariah May was a complete understudy to Toni Storm. We knew that storyline was going to carry out, but we never thought that Mariah would get to the level that she is right now. Like, I was simply a fan of Mariah ever since she ended up coming over to North America, and the only thing she had at home was literally a table, a PlayStation, and a TV. Those are the first three things she had at her apartment. So she used to be a gamer quite a bit when she was back in Japan. So Oh, and they're starting to sell tickets at Crypto, so that's always a good sign. I wonder how much that's going to bite WWE in the rear end now. The fact that, you know, they had an exclusivity agreement with Crypto.com Arena, and then all of a sudden they broke it by going to the Intuit Dome. So that's why AEW is getting the opportunity to run Revolution out of the Crypto. The one thing I hope for is they do get a good number out of that show. I'm not worried about pay-per-view buys. I'm worried about people in the seats there, because that's going to be the real test right now for everything that's been going on here. They've been creating interest. They've been having smaller venues with intimate crowds, making it feel like a real positive atmosphere to be here. That's going to be a little different with the fact that they got a larger venue with a lot more people involved, and
with violence and or coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
As they're coming back out of the picture here.
This matchup in the women's division continues here on TNT and Max. It is Collision live on this Saturday night from Athens, Georgia, the brand new Athens Ford Arena. This great sports college town where you have a tremendous crowd on hand.
Well, I guess the college teams don't have much to talk about right now. Congratulations to Ohio State and Notre Dame for making the college football finals. Harley Cameron sure feeling something right now.
1, 2, Harley kicking out. It gets out in a 2 count. Well, one thing we've known about the world champion since her arrival from Stardom here at AEW.
Now here's the question: does she win without the Storm Zero? Because that has been one of the underlying stories that a lot of people are talking about right now. Mariah May has not been able to win any matches without the Storm Zero.
This may actually be Mariah May's greatest performance. So here we go.
Speaking of which, nope. Going for Mayday. Double hair mare. Not the best of timing on it, but enough. Oh, this crowd absolutely is in love with Harley. And can you really blame them? Like, Harley is that's like, she's come out of her shell so much. And the fact that she has the ability to focus so much more on her wrestling, and I don't like to bring personal stuff into it, but it might make sense. If you haven't heard, Harley, oh my God. Sorry, I'm watching Harley here go like, where the hell is this coming from? Like, this is a coming out party for Harley here. Yeah. But Harley, you got to imagine the amount of stress that she's been going under now that she's divorced from her husband, Zion Quinn, or formerly known as Zion Quinn in WWE. And just the fact that you get... There's a counter to a Storm Zero right there. Storm Zero. That you bully Ray for a reason. He's helping her. Yeah, fair enough. I almost hate the fact that, you know, Did I mention the story before? Or mention this story that, you know, Mariah can't win without the Storm Zero?
We will find out who will face the world champion in Australia in the women's casino gauntlet match that is live on TBS.
But this is such a coming out party for Harley Cameron. But yeah, RK, Bully in so many ways is such a polarizing figure, both in good and bad ways. I just almost don't like to think about him a whole lot. But you know what? If he's helping her. If anybody's willing to help anybody, I'm always happy for it. Oh, we get a CD promo. He thinks he's always on. That's his problem, yeah.
I've known you for more than 15 years, and I saw you go through the worst year and a half of your life. I saw all of your friends desert you. I saw the fans turn their back on you, and I wanted to be a friend to you. But every time I reached out, you responded with violence. And I don't even care about getting punched. I've been knocked on my ass more than 1,000 times in my life, Adam. But when you stood face to face and told me an old man, you asked me what I've done in professional wrestling. That hurt. Apparently, it's time for a history lesson, Adam. I'll tell you.
This is awesome right here.
I've won championships. I've main evented pay-per-views. I've wrestled all around the world. And if a professional wrestling company mattered in the last 32 years, I wrestled there. I helped build two.
I really wish they were able to show the Unbreakable match with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe with these guys.
So maybe 2024 wasn't my best in-ring year of my career. But it's 2025 now. And I'm not an EVP anymore. Now I'm just a man who's sick and tired of being disrespected. Collision. Adam Page, you want Texas death? I've already shown you that I'm willing to shed my blood. I'll shed yours as well. Maybe I'll add beating your ass to my list of accomplishments.
This is going to be a lot of fun next week.
It is going to be intense. It's going to be next Saturday. Texas Deathmatch, Hangman Adam Page, and Christopher Daniels, Maximum Carnage Collision.
Hey, Jay Quick, good to see you here. We're getting it out of... All right, we get a Brody King match. I can live with that. Always hate that he compares current wrestling to past wrestling. It's exactly that. It's... People need to realize that 2025 wrestling is not the same as 2015, which is not the same as 2005, which is not the same as 1985. And different things will not work now compared to what they worked then. Certain principles are always there, but there is a significant difference in wrestling. And Triple H talked about it perfectly in his post-Raw on Netflix debut press conference, which is another topic of another day, but... Oh, we get it already in the ring match. Okay, that makes sense. Trevor Blackwell is going to be black and blue really well right away. This isn't the Hackenschmidt era. Absolutely. He looks nervous? Yeah, well, McGee, you're standing face to face with a guy that looks like he will legit kill you. Would you not be nervous? And yeah, Jay Quick, they escalated that right to Texas Death next week, so... Apparently WB needs some feature matches and some, they have to hype this up as a super over week. Coming up here on AEW, so that's why my pick for the women's gauntlet match is Indy Hartwell. It's either Indy Hartwell. I like the Athena pick as well. I think there's going to be a shock pick that's going to get a lot of buzz on AEW coming up after Wednesday.
Not that he needed the distraction, but Brody King capitalizing on it.
Oh, God.
Oh, once more.
Brody's just pissed because he doesn't have his tag partner anymore. Because apparently Malachi's done. Buddy's around, but... Jesus. Yeah, that Godzo Bob is just, ugh. Hope Blackwell's good at shirts, yeah.
Honoring the House of Black.
So we still have the TNT title match. We got Dax and Jericho. So I guess Dax and Jericho's mating. All right. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Garcia and Shibata next. Sorry, I just got to hit the mute there. Oh, in that football game, like, I'll be honest, that's why we hit right close to start time. Is the fact I was watching the football game while I made supper and got everything ready to go for tonight's stream. And yeah, just I cannot believe I cannot believe how Los Angeles had that, and they just a team that was just absolutely putrid is just coughed it away. Work began over. Okay. Did you read the article about Julia Hart talking about Malachi Black? She kept saying no matter what he does, she'll be happy for him, but nothing has been said about it yet. Yeah, like she was put pretty much on a spot in a. I did actually see the interview. I didn't read the article, but I saw the position that she was in, and basically it was one of those, I'm going to give as best of a political answer as I can. And you got to remember, Julie is what, 21, 22? She hasn't, like, let's face it, PR is not a strong suit of either AEW or WWE. And I think she handled it about as good as you can. Like, if Malachi stays or Malachi goes. Yeah, like, when you throw that question out of left field like that, she just can't outright say, well, he's signed, because that'd be a lie. And you can't say, well, he hasn't been signed, and that could be a lie too. All you can say is, no matter what happens, he's helped me a lot, and I hope that he has success no matter what happens. And that, to me, says a lot without saying nothing. And I don't mean about Malachi, I mean about Julia. The maturity out of a lot of these younger wrestlers is beyond their years when it comes to stuff like that. Really impressed with Julia, and yeah, literally how she how she's conducted herself while she's been gone as well. The sense of community that all these young wrestlers in AEW have. Like, hell, I was in Edmonton for when that Sky Blue incident came down. If you didn't hear about the fan that was heckling Sky Blue to the point where she was basically in tears by the end of a match with Rachel Ellering. And just the way that the community of the people there worked together to deal with the situation.
King, we saw you end 2024 on a strong note with that great showing in the Continental Classic, and then that you continued that momentum in 2025. We just saw you at the Tokyo Dome. We heard what Will Ospreay said on Dynamite, and you just picked up a win here tonight. How are you feeling?
You know, Lexi, right now it's a real confusing time for the House of Black and for myself.
Ooh. Hello.
We've been through a lot. But I hope you know that at the end of all of it, I respect you. I respect you. I respect Buddy. I think you have the world of potential at your feet. I know what you bring to the table, man. I wanted us to be a group. But I tell you what, it's time for you to take the reins and run.
They're doing everything they can to show that Malachi's gone. Now, I'd love to see the fact that Malachi's not gone and they just pulled this all as a ruse for everything. I love the fact that Shibata was able to get one good appearance and one good match out in Tokyo. let the chains out Brody, make him a next AEW champion. I think he'll get there. I think it's going to take time, but I think he'll get there. Because there is a good story behind him going. And to answer your question, Nats, about who's going to win that IC title on Monday, I'll be happy with either one. I know about the struggles of Dakota Kai and everything that she's gone through getting there. So I would like to see her get it. But if it's Lyra, I'm not going to feel bad about it either. As long as it's a clean match. If it ends up being one of those, somebody comes out to interfere to break it up, as far as I'm concerned, I want it to be a legit win one way or the other. Just the same way that the U.S. title was essentially a clean finish. And a lot of people will remember that finish more than they'll remember the interference spot before it. And yeah, this will be a good grappling match. And that's what Shibata got out in New Japan during Wrestle Dynasty, a 5-minute technical match. Or no, sorry. Did they do that at Wrestle Dynasty, or was that at New Year's Dash? Because I think they might have actually pushed that back to New Year's Dash instead.
The airport in Atlanta, and that is about an hour and a half, 2-hour ride. So is Daniel Garcia ready for Katsuyori Shibata? Matt Menard, I ask you to join our broadcast.
Well, thank you, Tony. I'll tell you right now, Daniel Garcia was born ready. That's the kind of champion he is, a lesser man. We called it a day, I think.
All right, well,
Let's talk about the history between these two men. There's a long story between Shibata and Garcia, and of course we can take it all the way back to the Ring of Honor Pure title.
Well, this is going to be fun.
Beat Garcia for the Pure title. From then they became tag team partners here in AEW.
Shibata, he just had a lot of bad luck here.
A number of times here, too. Danny saved Shibata, if you remember.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Months ago, right? Look, there's a healthy respect.
It's actually, I get a kick out of when I hear that.
But tonight,
Because
we can call it a friendship, I would say.
out here in Alberta,
Competitive juices, you know?
okay, to break it down for you here in Alberta, we have 3 major cities that the majority of our wrestling is in. Let me mention all 4, because Pure Power definitely needs to get consideration there. There's Edmonton. Then an hour and a half south by car is Red Deer. Then another hour south from that is Calgary. And then another 2 hours southeast from that is Lethbridge. So those are our 4 major cities. You will never, ever see people fly from one city to the other to go work a match. Everybody's driving here. So this having to drive 1 hour, 2 hour, it's like, yeah, okay.
No, I'm with you. That is not part of the game plan here. He's getting caught up in it.
And then, of course, this past week on Dynamite, a good impressive performance.
Yeah, don't get caught in a chopping match with Shibata. This will not turn out well for you.
Conflict with the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah, that's the kind of match where you want to find a partner, somebody to kind of team up with in there. And he chose that didn't exactly work out to his advantage.
Working out exactly. Right now, look at Shibata once more. Walking through those chops.
This is when I kick him in the nuts and run away.
Between his opponent. He's not allowing Garcia to get a lot of back movement on those chops.
Look at these shots. Yeah, he's got to go low here instead of going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, I'm with Menard here. You got to go for the legs if you're gonna go. If you're gonna go after Shibata, going after the chest like that, like for all the work that he's had to put in to repair himself.
double underhold. Butterfly suplex.
Come on, Danny.
And a cover by Shibata. 1, 2, and Garcia kicks out of it.
Still alive here, still alive.
Once again, I gotta wonder if the day's travel has had a wear and tear here on the champion.
Could you imagine the title change happening because of that, and then they have a built-in excuse to run this back?
Stay with us. This match continues on Max at 10 team.
I wonder what kind of pretzels we're going to see in a match like this one. And there goes our picture-in-picture. They've actually gone to full screen here, which I find funny because this is the USA Network in Canada, not the regular sports channels, but oh my goodness. Yeah, Wednesday's going to be a ton of fun. Tonight, we're going to have 2 good matches to finish off. Watching the Collision on TV, watching me on your phone, which I appreciate, and watching Raven Steelers. That's what's going to be like for the next 3 weeks. Like, I am very thankful that the game I'm worried about for football is actually at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll actually be at work, so I could actually listen to it on my radio, and thank God the boss got the first year of Sirius XM for me, so... You got picture? Yeah, I don't. They end up going straight, so. Having a network in Canada named USA. We've been mentioning it from last week to this week. It's like, it makes no sense, but sure. Because then people go to watch NXT on the CW, or they go to watch SmackDown on that channel, it doesn't show up, right? Get off at noon tomorrow, so you're able to watch all the games tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, I'm supposed to work till about 6 Eastern, so usually I can get home a little bit early, but I'm definitely going to miss the first game, so I'm just hoping that the Bills make it to next weekend so we can see how things is going. I had to be careful with that Nats fan when you're saying that, because I was thinking about your first comment that you put on the channel today, and you wrote that. That's like, ew. Just they'll leave it there. BBC is on cable in the States. Rattle me that. Anthem could change Access TV to Canada TV. There's a whole bunch of possibilities for that stupid. Like, some of the names that they do for some of these channels are completely nuts. Thanks for reminding me. I got to cancel my Fight Network subscription. I kept the Fight Network so I could watch TNA, but now that they're on Sportsnet, there's absolutely no reason for me to keep that channel now. It's a bit of a saw-off because the USA Network cost me $5 and the Fight Network cost me $5, so I'm sort of gaining 5, losing 5. I'm still haven't broken down to go to the streaming services yet, so if we can get Max up here in Canada under regular means. VPN, here's the thing, and Nats fan, and I've been talking about it before. Whether it's a big company or small, I still follow the same rules. I don't want to cheap anybody out of a system, because as a content creator, I wouldn't want anybody trying to steal my stuff from some reason. Like, one of our biggest shows, the Clandestine Society, it was showed as a PPV in many cases for the first year, and then all of a sudden I looked at some illegal download sites and there was on there. Funny thing is, we get Fight Network now. The changes have happened. They must have changed sports packages. Well, because nobody's going to buy it unless... I'm going to have to go through and update mine, because all I did was actually add the USA Network, because I didn't have Discovery before, so... Because if I want to watch a bunch of wild animals, I just watch Raw every week. Jesus. You get a German. You get a German. You get a German. You get a belly to back. VPNs aren't technically illegal because when you change your location, you still have to purchase the show. Fair enough. Here's the thing. The other part of it, Nats fan. I can watch AEW on my TV. Unless I learn how to cast off my computer to my TV, I would have to do some finagling to do it. Granted, when I get my desktop, I probably will be watching it off my desktop at the same time as I'm streaming. Oh, God. Oh, this is going to be fun. Don't get into a chop fight. Didn't we have a discussion about this earlier? I really wonder how long cable will be around with all these streaming services. I think cable will be gone in the future where it'll all be fair enough. The one thing I hate about streaming services, and I was talking about this with Netflix, you can't channel surf. You cannot channel surf for the streaming service because you literally have to log out, log in somewhere else. So I basically would have to have 4 different sites up at the same time. What's that song? Streaming killed the TV star. Streaming killed the TV star. In your heart and in your mind. As we talk and be real kind. Hell, I'm still a guy that has a VCR still in my apartment here. That's how far I go back here. I don't have beta yet here, but I have VHS. I used to have some beta tapes, but unfortunately I lost those about 20 years ago. Like, why would you wait? Just touch it. Love to see my pay-per-view tapes. Well, I actually have a binder here of CDs, and it's actually all my oh, that was a hell of a reverse. Jesus. Garcia got him on jackknife. Yeah, I'm with you. RK, I have a Roku too, and yes, I do know that I can do that kind of stuff, but I just, like you said, the amount of work, extra work that it involves, I'm lazy. What can I say? But I have my DVD collection has every single weekly TNA for the first however many they had. I have it in one binder. They're weekly pay-per-views where I paid $10 a week for them. Both guys giving credit to each other. I like that. Are we gonna get a turn? Are we gonna get a turn here? No. This was one of those matches that just got thrown together, right? Just a great wrestling match, and that's all we really need here. And Nats fan, to answer your question, one of these days I will do up a video. I will do up a video of what's up on the shelf below the video games, because that's where the VHS and the actually I correct myself, it's all DVDs over there. The VHS are up in a box right now, so and Renee's doing the by the numbers, so Jackie Retman needed her heart out. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And of course, that comes up on Wednesday at the Women's Casino Gauntlet match at Maximum Carnage Dynamite. Plus, coming up next,
All right, coming up next is our main event for tonight, which is actually timed out pretty good.
everyone board for ringside on Collision.
Yeah, I collected WWE pay-per-view DVDs. I've also got a bunch of indie wrestling ones, plus the ones that I produce myself. I even have some here that, you know, from our local promotions here for when I was doing coverage for them. So, but it as it is before our last commercial break, before the main event here, I give you guys a bit of a rundown of what we're going to be doing here next week for the stream. And honestly, game-wise, we're pretty wide open right now. I will be on tomorrow night, hopefully celebrating a Bills victory. And probably going to throw some kind of sport in there. I don't know whether we're going to go hockey, baseball, basketball, football, or maybe even get into the Fight Club if I can get time to get that fixed up. We'll be checking things out there. Tuesday, if I'm going pickleball. Hey, pickleball. Well, you know what? Technically, now that I think about it, I do have the new Mario Tennis game, and a lot of those games in that game look like pickleball to me. If there's any preference to what you guys want to see, please feel free to let me know. And from there, we're going to be here Wednesday with our AEW Dynamite Sidecast for Maximum Carnage, as well as weeks 8 and 9 of My GM Mode. Thursday, we finished up Stellar Blade last Thursday here. Well, I got the bad ending, which apparently according to PlayStation, only 15% of people actually picked the ending that I did. So if you want to check out details on that, you can check out our gaming YouTube channel. It'll be coming up over the next couple weeks here. And so, yeah, we got another game to line up there. So I'm still trying to figure out what we want to do with that. So, and then we'll be back on Saturday with another round of AEW Collision here. So once again, everybody, thank you for being here. If you haven't followed already, please hit the follow button. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Comment what you would like to see here on the channel. I know that the first thing I got to work on is a scoreboard. That should have been up here already, but I digress. But yeah, we got some good things coming up the pipe here, and once we get a few game announcements go by, like I know next Thursday we might actually sit around to watch the PlayStation presentation. They're directs next Thursday at the same time I usually stream, so we might watch that together and then figure out from there. But it could be all over the place. We're pretty wide open right now in January. This is about the start of the new year. Start of a lot of excitement. Jericho doesn't even get a full entrance, which I'm happy about. The hell is that cowboy hat? I'm surprised we didn't get more gimmicks out of that name. I love how Nigel's not completely wrong about this. Hi, Nets fan. Hey, everybody. Hi, Chris. I love that Dax is getting a main event spot here tonight. Always been a Bret Hart guy, so, and he's always taking out Bret's favorite friends. for a lot of their. At any time Brett needed a favor, these two guys are all over it, right? I know it's the same company, but I don't like how they have the ROH championship. I completely agree. I wouldn't mind it if they have like a big match to promote for Ring of Honor tapings or something. But yeah, having Jericho on here with the title and Kommander as well with the TV. The TV title needs to be on TV a little bit so I could give a small pass, but not much. But Jericho having that title right now and nobody really doing anything with it.
From the collar elbow tie-up. Big push on that tie by Dax. What's this?
I do believe that Anthony Bowens was supposed to eventually be involved in this matchup. Because that's another part of the feud with after Jericho beat Bowens thanks to Caster a couple weeks ago on Ring of Honor at Hammerstein.
Neither man letting go here, and they fly on the outside. They hook up once again.
They were supposed to do the hookup all the way through the ropes, but they couldn't do it, so. I'm sure you would, Nigel. I love Nigel. He's like, yeah, stand in front of me. I'll protect you.
Thank you so much for that.
Who in the hell's got a hockey jersey in there? Are we going to kill the first 5 minutes of this match just literally running around here? Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Sorry, McGee. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up again. Bowens and his partner were forced to evacuate from their place because the fires were so close. So he was unable to make the show tonight. The two big ones I heard about not being able to show up are Bowens and also Josh Alexander was supposed to have his last night on the Indies at Prestige Wrestling tonight. But unfortunately, due to the ice storms and the fires and that, just wasn't able to make it out. That was a dragon screw where Jericho did not screw. So that was just a drag. The world's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that's the main event tonight for the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship. Tomohiro Ishii versus Gabe Kidd for the Battle of the Valley card. Once again, I do recommend, like, it is on the Fight app, so like, I appreciate you sticking with me, but if you want to see some good wrestling after we're done here as well, Battle of the Valley starts up pretty much just after this show's done. I always recommend you stick around and enjoy the WWE 2K24 with me, but I will forgive you tonight if you want to watch the Battle of the Valley. Because on that card, they have the Sumi Sakai retirement match, the first ever women's ROH champion.
It finally goes back towards the ring. This is the main event here on Collision as we head towards Maximum Carnage. Sheer drop brain buster.
Gotta love the Brave Buster.
2 and a 2 count. We head towards Maximum Carnage on Wednesday, live on TBS from Cincinnati. And
Also got a 8-women elimination tag featured Trish Adora and Anna Jay.
next Saturday,
Also Viva Van from ROH.
in on Max. And we've got that big Texas death match coming up next Saturday as well between Chris
But yeah,
and
let's just face it, there's a lot of good wrestling going on, period, right now.
Jericho.
Whether you talk about AEW, whether you talk about New Japan, whether you talk about WWE. It's all about your preferences too, right? Like,
Brings him down with a Hurricane Rana.
Are we actually going to get picture-in-picture this time? Yes, we are. Wow. Real picture-in-picture. I'm impressed. But yeah, like, it comes down to your preference. Like for me, I have to watch WWE now at this point on VOD. I can't watch it live. The amount of filler that they have in between everything that they do. Except maybe NXT. NXT is not bad, but the other two just... There's so much between the filler and the commercials. It's just... The reason I love AEW as much as I do is the fact that it's almost strategic filler, more a chance to breathe rather than just trying to get ads in. Don't get me wrong, they try to get their ads in lots. We're in the middle of a picture-in-picture right now. But... And in New Japan, I just don't know the stories enough yet. I've seen a lot of good wrestling. There's only so many hours in a day that you can watch wrestling and enjoy it, right? And that's all at a relative scale. Like, I used to be, like, every day when I get home from work, I'm watching some kind of wrestling. I'm editing some kind of video about wrestling. And I've started to shy away from that a little bit, move around a little bit to different things. Because as much as we love wrestling, you know, not everything is wrestling. As I butcher two different Twitter accounts that I've dealt with in the previous past. But yeah, for everything coming up next week with Maximum Carnage, with Raw should be a good one. We were talking about this earlier when it comes to Raw. This week will be a little more indicative about what we're going to see from the Raw product than what we saw last week. It's almost like I consider what happened last week as a Raw 0. Instead of episode 1, it was like an episode 0 where, yes, you do have some big matches involved, but you also, this is a preview of what we're watching, everything. Wrestling over everything. Everything. Now, everything is wrestling. I can agree with that. But it's all about how much time do you have manufactured, how much time do you have available, right? That spells whoa, by the way. Whoa. I'm worried WWE slowly going to UFC format. I don't like it. Just chill. Just let it run out. Let it run through. And if you're right, then yeah, just... It's a point you can watch it later. You don't have to watch it live anymore. Or even if you... Wow, I thought... Oh, he almost... Jericho never hits that move from the top. He's as bad as Flair. Uh-oh. I will not wait. You are not my mom. Wait, I'm not your mom? No, he isn't. Wow. That was funny. That was funny right there. Dax a little dizzy, then all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he landed that knee flush in Dax's face. I was going to say more jaw than chest. Love how Nigel's not getting his replay he wanted. Sharpshooter! As Dax once again dives into the post. Whoa! Hello? Private Party and Briscoe versus all three of the... We get an MVP debut? Do we get an MVP debut or do we get another debut? Does MVP wrestle or does he have somebody else in mind? You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. Thanks, Jericho. Jericho's great. Jericho's great promotion. He's a great face to have in there. Once again, like I said, there is patience involved, but Jericho, every once in a while, he'll pull one of these moves out. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Champion Dax the Axe. This match could have ended there.
Now we're seeing a little bit of what we saw.
I really wonder if they would just call the rest of the match right there. We got about 6 minutes left. Because Collision usually runs out right on time here, so. Usually not much of an overrun on Collision for the most part. Tonight is live, so they could run a little late. It is Jericho, so we might run a little late. He's having all these chops here. Jericho's taking all these chops here. He's reminding himself of Suzuki again. There's got to be somebody hidden underneath the ring. He's going to get his title. Oh, and now we're going to get the sharpshooter outside. Oh, code breaker right in the chin. Cope breaker. That's not even worth one of these. I don't know. I didn't realize Remsburg could count to 10. There's the spin out. For the third time, he's going for the sharpshooter. Unfortunately, you have to get the full extension in order to be able to move. And the referee gets clocked. Well, calling it right now. You fucked up, Jericho. You know what you're supposed to do there, right?
I was looking at
He was looking to get that title and put it over his chest, so when Harwood does the headbutt, he lands right on the title instead. I don't want to see this match a little sloppy. It's a lot sloppy. I would have loved to see Shibata and Garcia get the main instead. Like, why was Jericho not disqualified?
Even without anybody else at ringside, this one has been chaotic and difficult to officiate. Oh, there it was.
All right, Judas effect. That's it. I really wish I had my Krusty the Clown soundbite here, because I will literally say, "What the hell was that?"
You better pay attention when you're in there with the learning tree.
Because that was not a good finish.
To his advantage. Oh, but wait a second, there's more lessons to be learned, Tony.
No, they'll go off the air celebrating. There's not going to be much. Oh, never mind. I was going to say there's not going to be much of a beatdown, but I guess there is.
All in session. Well, you had to know this was going to happen.
Are we just going to end with this chaos at the end again?
Here again. No one's safe when capricious cope.
Capricious Cope. Oh, and here come the Death Riders.
The Death Riders.
No Mox, of course.
Oh, John Moxley instead.
And here come the Outrunners. So let's pretty much clean up the locker room right now. See, if we had a Casino Gauntlet match to promote next week for the men, this might not be a bad idea, but...
Heading our way, Tony. You've never been known to be the most sprite of foot. If I were you, I'd be on them.
Yeah, I think we better stand up, don't you? This is great.
This is just going to go off the air this way. It has to.
I think Chris Jericho wins this main event.
Oh, look out. I think we got our match for next week, folks. Cope and Pac. Oh, I thought Moxley wouldn't come down to Athens.
Moxley, like a coiled cobra, striking the neck of Adam Copeland. Triple fusion.
Oh,
Injury that took
you guys remember this?
9 years.
Let's bring back the memories.
Moxley's opponent next week, Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, everybody tried to get in the way, and they're like, nope. Moxley hits him with a chair, like, nope, nope. What the hell were you thinking? This whole crowd's got the chant going. I'd pie face her anyway. Make Hobbs look like a monster, yep. Wheeler's dead. Wheeler's dead. And Moxley's like, Moxley wanted a monster. He wanted somebody to step up. And that's what they're getting at this point. So, horrible match to end the main event. Great finish to finish off the show. Normally you don't get both like that. I'd have to say a very decent match in Collision. The opening match with Cope and Big Bill, very good match. You had the Outrunners and the Death Riders. You had Kommander and Pac was absolutely spectacular, as you expected. Going right into the tag match, which a little bit old school, but a little bit more. You had the TNT Championship, which should have been the main event, except for one other match I can think of right now. You have that TNT Championship match, Garcia, Shibata just looking great out there. This last match, you hope more people remember the ending of the show than they do the match, because the match was garbage. And once again, Chris Jericho is a king of 50-50 booking when it comes to wrestling. And I'm not talking about wins or losses. I'm talking about good match or bad match. And he is totally a 50-50 guy right now. And you cannot have a 50-50 guy in your premier spots, in your main event spots, the spots that people are going to be tuning in to see. And yeah, Jericho just isn't it. But to me, did anybody else here expect Harley Cameron to show up the way that she did? Did anybody? Anybody? Anyone? Raise your hand. Anybody raise your hand? We talked about her being the most improved wrestler in AEW last year, but nothing like that. My goodness, she looked like an absolute star in that match with Mariah May. Of course, we all knew Mariah was going to get the victory, but my God, some of the moves that she was pulling off there, like, there was a flow to it too, and that's the big thing about it. But all in all, like, I would recommend anybody that hasn't seen the full show, please rewatch it. You could just quickly skip through the main event. That main event to me was just pretty much meh. That's about it.